Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the Stade de Nice, or Allianz Riviera, or whatever this stadium's called. I'm in Nice, and you can see down on the pitch below me, that's Wales warming up, and that's Portugal. Just getting ready for this one, but just finished watching Samoa against Chile, and so I thought I'd do a quick video on that. I'll tell you what, I've never been to South America. I'd really like to go, just as a holiday. Amazing, very different culture that I'd like to sample. But I'm thinking maybe I could make it a rugby trip now, because South America is one of the emerging areas of rugby. With the showing of Uruguay on Thursday night, and now Chile just play some fun rugby, don't they? And I want to be the founding member of the Rodrigo Fernandez fan club. I love that guy. He's an absolute baller. So, again, whilst Samoa in the end were comfortable victors with a strong second half, it just provided a lot of entertainment, and the fans of Chile were incredible. The number of the fans for Chile was incredible. It's like a historic moment for them, this World Cup, and they're giving a really good account of themselves on and off the pitch. So it's great. And I was kind of torn, because you want an underdog story at the World Cup. Everyone loves an underdog tale. And in that first half particularly, you're sort of going, oh my goodness, it could be on for Chile here. But then on the flip side, the underdog tale could really be Samoa knocking out England or Argentina from the pool, or more likely Argentina at this point. So I was quite pleased as well. I was pleased to see Chile have a great first half, and I was pleased to see Samoa have a much more clinical second half. And I mean, Samoa were sloppy in the first half, made a lot of errors. Not quite looking like the team that roughed up Ireland a few weeks ago and pushed them close. But the second half, they started to get their mojo back. And again, they're building for Saint Etienne. Is it a week on Thursday? Or is it actually this coming Thursday? I think, yeah, it's on Thursday. Samoa v Argentina in Saint Etienne. That's a massive game. And then, or it might be a Friday night actually. It's coming up, I think it's Friday night in Saint Etienne anyway. Samoa play Argentina next. That is a huge game. And Argentina have had to lick their wounds against England, and Samoa will want to make it a double win against South American opposition. By the way, with Argentina, with Chile, with Uruguay, Brazil have got, well, a few years ago, had a really handy team. I remember there was one amazing video that went viral of the Brazil scrum just demolishing another team. And potentially, you'd like to think in the future, Argentina wouldn't have to travel all over the world to play against Australia and South Africa and New Zealand. Maybe in the future, you can have a really good South American championship that could sustain itself. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it? So onto this game. Firstly, I mentioned the crowd. They were brilliant. I've never seen a bunch of players enjoy the haka, or what's it called, the Civitao, the Samoan pre-game ritual, and the Chilean players absolutely loved it. Massive grins on their faces. You love to see it. And Sia Khaleesi, Ebenet Sebethan, Cheslin Colby seemed to enjoy it as well. I think it was Cheslin Colby anyway. It's quite hard to see when he sat next to Ebenet Sebeth, and you could barely see him. Cheslin Colby's about the size of one of Ebenet Sebeth's biceps, but nice to see him there, and supporting some of the emerging nations. I mean, I forget the name of the Chilean player who went off stretchered injured, but that's a couple of bad injuries we've had in the last couple of days. And that brings me to the pitches. I don't know what state this pitch is in. You'd think because this hosts French League One matches that the pitch will be in decent nick. But it looks like they've had new pitches laid at some of the stadiums, and that one in Bordeaux was not looking good. So I don't know whether that had a part to play in the injuries, but the France game the other night, terrible pitch, and there was a really bad injury. So I hope the pitch has got nothing to do with it. I'm just going to turn the page because I made a couple of notes about this game, so I don't want to forget. Yeah. So the Chilean fullback, Ayarza, and Rodrigo Fernandez, are key playmakers. They've got a very young. When you look at the age profile of the Chilean team, if they can keep it together for a few years, maybe the next World Cup, they could. That's the sort of game they could aspire to be winning. And that first half, it looked like the underdog story was on. But Samoa in the end let their class tell, and they do have some really good players. I love that Theo McFarland is now on the international stage. He's just been tearing it up in the Premiership before he had a serious injury just early in last season, the season just gone. So they are going to pose a test, but they need to get a lot better. They need to get a lot better, and they will, I'm sure, get a lot better. By the way, it's gorgeous weather here. You might notice for the first time since I've been in France, I've actually put a second layer on today. That's because it was lashing it down with rain earlier. And I was thinking, oh, Wales will be quite happy about that. It will probably play to their relative strengths against Portugal. But the sun is out and it's heating back up, and I'm probably going to take this shirt off first chance I get. I want to emphasise the positives. There's some really good try scores. The little nudge through for the... who was it? Pau Haya? I can't remember the name of the fullback. Can you tell I had quite a late light last night, or an early morning, depending on which way you want to look at it. But I let my hair down a little bit. Hence, no video on New Zealand yet. But I will be doing a video on the New Zealand-Namibia game. The thing is, I didn't see a lot of it because the fan village in Nice was closed last night, obviously. I mean, yeah, why would you open a fan village when there's a rugby game on and thousands of rugby fans who want to buy beer and buy food? Well, you know, makes sense not to have it open to them anyway. But the old town in Nice was bouncing, and there will be some fun videos from last night, which I'm going to share. So that's why there's no New Zealand video yet, because earlier I actually just, this morning, while I was kind of letting my soul return to my body again and hydrating, drinking lots of water to try and get myself back on an even keel, I watched the New Zealand-Namibia game, and there are some takeaways. But on this one, the takeaways are Pool D is where it has the potential to be done and dusted if Argentina do a job on Samoa, and probably the overall quality is the poorest at the World Cup. Although I hope that Japan can make me eat my words tomorrow and make a real challenge against England. But Japan v Samoa should be a fun game. Samoa v Argentina should be a fun game. It's just, yeah, Samoa not quite there. You can tell the difference between Samoa not having had a Super Rugby team and all that time together and having to pull players together and try and get that cohesion within a very short window of time, whereas Fiji have had a lot of players playing for the Drua in Super Rugby, and they're another step on. But there's absolute class out on the field for Samoa in terms of personnel. Just hope that they can actually do the business when it comes to it. And it's maybe to their benefit that they're not playing Argentina and England immediately. I think that will be a good thing for them. They've been able to get the wagons rolling now against Chile, and then they're into Argentina. Just on the officiating, I'm going to have to talk about it again. I thought on the whole, Paul Williams was really good. His communication was excellent. But there were occasions where 3 professional refs, assistant referees and the referee, couldn't decide on whether something was foul play or not, and what the offence was. Couldn't decide on what the outcome should be in terms of cards or no cards. And if they can't agree between them, then what I keep getting again and again from people talking to me back in England, Wales are just walking in now. I'll let you appreciate that moment. There are a lot of Welsh fans, let me tell you, in Nice. A lot. Massively outnumbering English fans by my reckoning. And again, there'll be some videos of last night which will demonstrate that quite handily. What was I saying? Completely. Oh yeah. So the referees can't agree. What I'm hearing from people back in the UK is that they can't quite follow what's happening and why. And rugby needs to convert new fans. In some countries like France, it's thriving and growing, and certainly in South America, it's thriving and growing. In the UK, or in England anyway, it's got a bit of a problem at the minute, and it's not helping itself. And there was that one decision on the replacement Samoan scrum half, apologies, I've forgotten his name, where you can understand people at Portugal are going in now. Oh, that's good to hear. I like that. It's a big deal for Portugal to be here, isn't it? And yeah, it looked like a rugby incident. Clearly there's been a directive and they're cracking down on dangerous ruck clear-outs, but you can never... And the referee actually used the word, didn't he? The player got injured as part of his justification for a yellow card. And that can never be a justification, because accidents happen in rugby and the danger is part of the reason why we play it, part of the reason why we love it. As a fellow podcaster and YouTuber, Eddie Stevens always says, the risk is the reward. And as I've said before, I think maybe it's just been dialed up a little bit too far, but I'm enjoying the rugby this weekend so far. New Zealand, Namibia was very one-sided. Samoa got the solid win in the end, but Chile are a credit to the Rugby World Cup. A lot of fun, their fans are brilliant, and let's hope for more like that from Portugal. And I'll do a video following this game in a little bit. See you on the next one. Thank you very much for watching. Hit subscribe, like, and leave your comments.